Trish Regan is the chief editor of 76research.com, and she joins us now. Trish, good to have you on. I want to start with the town hall today and Trump. That was, I think, far and away the most interesting part of that town hall. It was how would Trump handle a question on abortion from a woman living in a swing state? What did you
Listen, I think he did a terrific job. I think putting IVF out there, I realize it's controversial for a lot of people, but that is going to have a lot of appeal among a lot of women that maybe are on the fence about him. And I think the reality is this. Look, Rob, he sent it back to the states. It's at the state level. He said he personally had these exceptions that, like Ronald Reagan, he believed in, but it's back at the states. So listen, you feel passionately about it, get out there and do something at your state level. I think it's really kind of off the table in that sense. Unfortunately, it is what it is, right? And women are understandably, very worked up on both sides of this issue. And I think he was able to diffuse some of that. I thought he answered it well. And by putting IVF out there, I'm not sure the insurance companies will be too happy, but I think that that'll actually bring some women in that maybe he previously would not have gotten.
Yeah, I agree with that. I want to play a little bit more from Kamala on Fox earlier this evening. Here she is talking about Trump's disposition.
He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the president of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake.
I mean, she got so angry toward the end of that because she knows she had just been battered. But I mean, the audacity of her to get so angry about him threatening to lock people up as he's faced, 90 felony counts for a bunch of nonsense that has all come from her political party. How on earth could she say that?
By the way, she's so angry.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Did you see that clip? She's so angry. She's so animated. It was so frustrating watching that interview. I felt for Brett. Look, I've had tough interviews, but there's nothing worse when someone is constantly pivoting and you know that the clock is running and you only have so much time and they just don't want to answer the question and they just go attack, 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 attack. This is all that she did. And then she occasionally, I guess for dramatic purposes, got kind of worked up like you just saw. And listen, Donald Trump has had everything thrown at him. Yeah. You look at the Letitia James case, nearly $500 million that they hit him with for a private transaction between him and his bank. I mean, my goodness, that was certainly a stretch, a very, very big stretch. It's about to get reversed in the Court of Appeals. And she's going to sit there and say that, somehow it's all his fault, not to mention somehow it's his fault that he's been running for the last 3.5 years. And that's why the country is so out of shape. I mean, wow.
Yeah, the best was the answer of just, about 80% of the people think we're on the wrong track. And she says, well, that's because Donald Trump's been running for president for the last couple of years. Oh,
I can't believe it.
Okay.
I mean, you would think, that somebody would have coached her, helped her along. Look, she wasn't doing any media forever. She never got out there and answered the tough questions. I mean, Donald Trump yesterday out there in Chicago, right? Yeah. Answering the questions on tariffs, dusting it up with the British guy from Bloomberg. Hey, you know what? That needs to happen. The American people need to know, why do you think tariffs are good and he thinks it's bad? Yeah. She can't answer those questions. She couldn't answer Brett's questions.
You get good through practice. I mean, I'm sure the first time that Trump took tough questions, it wasn't pretty, but you do it enough and it's a skill that you develop. If you hide from it, when you actually have to do it because it's October and you're bleeding out, you're in real trouble.
But it's not just that. It's also that he knows it, right? Yeah. Like it's in his core. He actually believes this stuff. Yeah. I don't know what she believes. She doesn't even know. She's telling everybody to, at the press pool to go look at the memo that they sent out because she doesn't own it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Trish Regan, good to see you. Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Appreciate it.